Hi. Well, just a couple of weeks ago, we saw SAP announce its acquisition of Signavio. Signavio is a German-based but multinational vendor of process management technologies. So that's a whole suite of process modeling, simulation, governance, and process mining through what it calls process intelligence technology. And I'm joined today by Tom Seal and Archana Venkatraman, who both worked with me on a report that's just about to come out that looks at SAP's acquisition of Signavio. So hi, Tom, and hi, Archana.
Hello.
Hi, Neil. It's great to be here.
Thanks so much for coming along and chatting to me on this video. And we're going to talk about what this means for SAP, what it means for Signavio, and what it means for the broader market at large. Let's look first at what this means for SAP. Why has SAP made this acquisition?
Sure. Neil, if you see in the last 12 months, digital transformation has really accelerated for a lot of organizations. And they're really looking at how they're rethinking their technology and operations and business model strategies. And that means they are looking to modernize their core applications like their ERP systems. And when that happens, they're realizing it's not so much of a technology migration. That's still, very much, they can tackle that, but it's the process modernization that's becoming a bit of a challenge, because sometimes these processes are so deeply baked into the application itself that they don't even have the visibility into the process itself for them to identify it, then standardize it, and then modernize it and just get valuable business outcomes. So Signavio's capabilities can actually help a lot of SAP's customers to just understand how their processes are working currently in their existing ERP systems and how they can modernize their core workloads and applications, as well as modernize their processes to just align it in a proper digital fashion and get some proper digital business value.
Okay, yeah. Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at any large organization, just the complexity of processes and the diversity of processes that are in use is just incredible. And before you can look at the future of your business, I suppose there's this critical need to understand the way things currently operate, and it's just impractical to do that without some kind of technology to help you, dig into your ERP system and other enterprise applications and just work out exactly how processes are working in the real world. And of course, it's not even necessarily the case that processes are being operated in the way that they were implemented. So businesses have customized processes. Of course, humans will often circumvent processes as well, and it's really important for customers of SAP that are looking to make this a move towards S/4HANA to understand their current business operations really, really carefully.
Now, of course, there are already vendors, and Signavio was one of them. There's already a number of vendors out there who were helping SAP clients go through this transformation. So those capabilities already existed in the market. Is it just a matter of SAP needing to control the technology rather than just partnering, for example? So Signavio had a really deep relationship already with SAP around S/4HANA migration.
Well, I think this probably relates to the RISE initiative that SAP have created here. So for those who aren't familiar with RISE, RISE is what SAP are describing as a business transformation as a service package. So it's really designed to really help customers make the journey towards S/4HANA. And what they're doing is assembling an array of tools which are going to, are really supposed to help customers make that leap, and process mining is going to form part of that package. And I think in developing that business transformation service, SAP have decided that process mining is an essential component of that, and they have decided that they need to fully own that capability, such that they can really embed it within that service.
Right. Okay. Archana, anything to add there?
No, I think Tom covered it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that strikes me about this is that Rise and sort of beyond Rise, if SAP does this well, it really enables SAP to move beyond providing. It currently talks about a business technology platform, BTP, and starts to be able to actually offer a business transformation platform. So potentially really, really profound shift, I think, in what SAP can mean for customers. So let's move on and talk about what SAP needs to watch out for. What are the things that could potentially trip SAP up and that it needs to make sure it does well?
Yeah, Neil, I mean, you mentioned there's a lot of potential, right? There's a lot of potential, but as ever, they need to make sure they get it right. Because if you look at it, 70% of organizations in our survey said that manual processes are a big bottleneck, and that's what holding them back from truly transforming themselves. So there's huge amount of potential here. But SAP needs to make sure that it doesn't just integrate the technologies, but capitalizes very well on, say, for instance, Signavio's monitoring framework, which is quite popular with some of its customers from heavily regulated industries in Europe. So it needs to do that. And, when you look at business process intelligence, automation, and observability and monitoring, they all come together, and you need to have high levels of standards to bring them all together and benefit from them to make sure you actually transform your business process. So they need to bring these monitoring capabilities and get into this world of IT observability as well, and bring all those capabilities together for the customer. And the last thing I would say is that some of SAP's sales team need to modernize themselves and move away from this software transactional sales, because process mining outcomes is a completely different conversation. Otherwise, SAP will end up with this two teams where Signavio team will be selling their business process intelligence and having those kind of conversations with customers, whereas SAP sales team will still be in that software world. So it's very important to make sure that they transform their culture and they train the staff to make sure the story is cohesive and all of them are telling the same story. So I think there's a lot of potential, but they just need to make sure they get it right.
Fantastic. Tom, anything to add on that?
Just really that I think SAP need to be careful to think long term here. They've acquired a business which is going to be extremely helpful in the here and now. So it's going to play an important role within this RISE package. But to make the most of their investment, they need to make sure that Signavio and the Signavio product is sticky. So SAP need to be very careful to make sure that customers know that it's going to help in that transition to a more modern ERP, but it has a lasting value as well. So I suppose just picking up on Archana's sales tactics there, SAP just need to be careful. They're not promoting this as a tool set which is going to be really helpful right now, but not necessarily in the long run. It needs to be sold as a valuable tool to help that transition to modern ERP, but also beyond that to make sure that the business continues to optimize its processes for the long term, really. Absolutely.
And I'm sure you'll agree that transformation is not something you just do quickly and once. It's like it's a diet almost, or a kind of wellness program that you stay with forever if you want to stay relevant in a fast changing universe.
Love that analogy.
I just made that up. Could be complete nonsense, but hopefully not. Well, listen, Archana, Tom, thanks so much for taking the time to join me today. I hope you found it not too harrowing, and maybe you'll join me for another video soon. And thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank you
for having us, Neil.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Tom.
Cheers. Well, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you again very soon.